So I was just sitting at a stoplight back there, and I hear some weird noises hitting around me, and I look down, and there's bird crap on the tank. I have a strange feeling that there's bird crap on me as well, but I don't really know, and I don't care to check just right now. Of course, all places they do their business, they do it right above me. I guess that's the joy of riding a bike. I'd like to talk a little bit about riding gear today. When I first got my bike, I didn't have a whole lot of riding gear. I, of course, went right for the helmet, bought myself a helmet, which I thought was a pretty good helmet, and at the time I said, what's the difference between helmets? If I get a $150 helmet or a $600 helmet, what's the difference? What makes a helmet kind of better if it's more expensive? I think protection-wise, they're all going to do about the same thing. My first helmet was an HJC FG-17, and it was Snell and DOT approved, which is pretty good ratings, so I was happy with that. And then last year I upgraded to another HJC, the RPHA-11 Pro, and this one's probably only about $500, but it's still a bit more expensive than my FG-17, which was about $150. So I upgraded to that, and I said, let's see if there is a difference, if there's any benefits to a more expensive helmet. Still has the same safety standards and ratings, which is great, but the differences in the helmet are in the airflow, one, and two, the lightweight materials that the helmet's made of. My RPHA-11 is the same size as the FG-17, but it weighs half a pound less. And you may say half a pound isn't that much, but when you're talking about a 3-pound helmet down to a 2.5-pound helmet, I think that's roughly what it weighed in at. It's a significant weight savings when it's on your head. My helmet kind of doesn't bounce my head around anymore. Right now I'm riding with the FG-17, the old helmet. When I don't vlog, I use the HJC RPHA-11. I didn't want to set up my mount for that helmet as well, so I kind of left it just on the FG, which is fine. I use this helmet to vlog, which is, I guess, perfectly alright for me. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, the lightweight helmet is a huge, huge difference when you have it on your head and you're doing highway speeds. It doesn't make that much of a difference when you're going slower, but when you're on the highway, it makes a really big difference, and I guess that's part of the reason why people upgrade and they spend a little bit more money on helmets. So I can certainly recommend the HJC helmet, both the FG-17 and the RPHA-11. I mean, the HJC FG was a great starting helmet, but there's a big difference when you upgrade, and I'm glad I did. Next piece of gear I got was my jacket, which the one I'm wearing now is a Speed and Strength jacket. This one's a little bit better for when it's cooler out. It has a little bit more protection there from the wind and everything, which is great. I also have a Dainese jacket that I wear when it's a little hotter out. But the Speed and Strength jacket is not the best quality jacket out there. It gets the job done, but it's got Velcro at the cuffs, and the Velcro, after a year of riding, has started to deteriorate pretty significantly, and it's difficult to ride certain times with it because it just peels off and you can't even use it. It does still work, but not nearly the way that it should. My other jacket is a button cuff, which is 10 times better. It's a lot easier to do, and it holds tight, which is nice. So the Velcro kind of loosens up over time and peels up, which is a bit of a pain. That cop ran a red light, by the way. I guess he was far enough out that it didn't matter to him, but... So yeah, I wouldn't recommend the Speed and Strength jacket. Again, it's a good starting jacket, but it isn't something that I'd say is going to be your one and only jacket and the last purchase you're going to make. It's it is what it is. You get what you pay for in that area, I guess. It has great protection. It's got all the armor that you need. Luckily, I never went down with it, so I don't know how durable it'll be in a slide, and I don't plan on finding out, but it does everything that I need it to do, which is nice. I don't really know this road, so we're going to take our time. Other piece of gear I have some gloves that I wear, and they are Joe Rocket gloves. And again, they were not the most expensive gloves out there, but they certainly get the job done, which is nice. But they're starting to pull as well when sorry, had a little fun. The gloves are starting to pull apart as well at the back Velcro area where they button up. And I'm not sure if that's something that I do when I take them on or off, or it's just something that happens over time. The gloves are about 3 years old, so I got a pretty good life out of them, if you ask me, for a $20 pair of gloves. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. And that is the extent of my riding gear. I don't have riding pants. I probably should, but I don't. I don't have riding boots or riding shoes. Again, I probably should, but I don't. I have been looking at a couple different options, but I struggle to spend the money on that kind of stuff, and that's a shame. I'm pretty cheap when it comes to that stuff. I know it's gear and I know it's protecting me and I should do it, but I just haven't done it. Eventually down the road, I probably will. I hope I will, at least. That way I'm a little bit better protected if anything goes wrong, which I hope nothing goes wrong. That's always the plan, but you can't guarantee it. The last item that I purchased, I don't think I'm going to call it gear because it's not. I purchased an OGO Mach 3 backpack, and I'm not currently wearing it. I'm wearing my old backpack, which is just a cheapie from Walmart. But my OGO, I found it really strange. When I had it on, I couldn't move my head. I didn't have full range, so my head was always tilted down, and I couldn't see as well. Even when I was moving my head left and right, I felt like it was rubbing on the backpack. I'm not sure if that was the combination of the backpack and the jacket, or if it was just the backpack that I was rubbing on. But it felt really strange, and I didn't like it. Even when I got in the full tuck, I couldn't lift my head up, so I couldn't see on the road good enough because I was always looking down slightly. So it was really throwing me off. I'm going to have to put it on with this jacket instead of my other jacket and give it a shot and see if it's the same thing. If it is, I'm probably just going to get rid of it, give it away to somebody and go to something a little bit more loose fitting, I guess. The OGO is great. It's a really nice construction, but it just doesn't seem to fit me right, and it's strange. I can't move my head. I don't have the free range of motion that I need on a bike. I mean, right now I can move my head. I'm comfortable and it's easy, but with that backpack on, it just didn't work out. So I'm going to put it on a little bit later and do a vlog with it on and see if it's any different. I'm going to do it with the jacket on that I have right now to see if there's any change at all in it, but it just felt really weird and I just couldn't get by it. So we'll see. Hopefully it is different with this jacket on, because it's one of those things that I'd like to keep and I'd like to use because I did like it. I like the look of it. I like the functionality of it. It seems to work out really well. But we'll see. I will hopefully do another review on that a little bit later down the road here and see how the jacket and the bag work out if I'm using a different jacket instead of the Dainese one. On that note, I will end the vlog here. A quick vlog today on just some gear, and I know gear's a subject that a lot of people say, well, you have to have good gear, you have to have the best expensive gear because it's protecting you. Well, you don't always need the most expensive stuff. You need good gear, but the more expensive you go, I guess the more benefits you have as a rider. Not necessarily going to protect you any better. Certain parts will. Pants, leather suits, all that kind of stuff. The more expensive you go, probably the better off you are with it. So spend a little bit of money on some of the gear if you really want to. That's dirt. I don't like that stuff. still considering track riding, so I'm gonna have to be looking into a full racing suit at some point down the line, and that's the kind of stuff you want to spend your money on. If you're just doing street riding, you don't need a $1,000 helmet, a $600 helmet. Yeah, it's nice, but this helmet that I have on now, the FG-17, gets the job done for 150 bucks. There's nothing wrong with that. So, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.